Alright, today is winterizing day, and as you can tell from the white stuff on the ground behind me, I'm a little bit late at getting to this. We've had probably at least 4 or 5 nights so far that I was a bit worried about this, and I got sick, had the flu, got delayed a little bit, and also we live in a climate here. We're kind of right on the border of being able to use the camper throughout the winter. So I do try to delay it some because I want to, we can get good camping in here through December. And so put all that together and I'm a little bit late. So winterizing was a bit mysterious to me when we first got the camper, but we have, I've learned my process, a few things to make it easier, take some of the mystery out of it. And knock on wood, so far I haven't had any trouble with freezing pipes. So I want to take you with me today and show you how I do it. One of the first steps that I should have done when we parked the trailer back about 2 months ago, I should have drained my low point drains, but I didn't at the time. So my low point drains are back here in the back of the trailer near the bumper, and I've really got to get up under there. It helps that my carport, the back of my trailer is raised so much it makes it a little easier for me. So I'm going to open up both the cold and hot low point drains back here, open up some faucets inside so that there's no vacuum in the pipes, and it'll let any water drain out that needs to. I'm also going to go to my freshwater tank in the front of my trailer and open the drain on that, make sure there's nothing left in the freshwater tank. Alright, these are little caps from my low point drain. I like to keep these in my sink inside. That way when spring comes, I don't have to hunt around for them. I usually keep a cardboard around so I can lay that under. I don't have it with me right now. I can see that I already had that drain cap off on my freshwater. Got to make a list of winter projects to do. I remember my screen door latch here is broken up. Got to get to that. I'm going to leave my low point drain caps here. I'm going to make sure my faucets are open. I don't know if you could hear that, but as soon as I opened it, it released a bit to let some drain out that low point drain. That's what you want to hear. Now you want to find every point in your camper that's going to have water. Of course, a kitchen sink, everything in your bathroom, your tub, your sink, your toilet. We had an outdoor kitchen. I used to have to do the outdoor kitchen, but I've since removed the plumbing from out there. And outdoor shower, that's another one. In fact, I forgot that one year. And then of course we don't have it, but I guess some rigs may have an ice maker, so you'd want to be aware of that. I think that covers everywhere that we might have water. So you open up all those valves, let everything drain. Alright, another step you're going to take is you're going to have to find, I guess you don't have to do this if you want to fill up your hot water heater with coolant, but who wants to do that? Most hot water heaters are going to be plumbed with bypass valves that allow you to bypass the hot water heater, so that when you run your pump and pump your coolant through, it only goes through your pipes and you don't have to fill up 6 gallons of coolant. Our hot water heater, yours is probably going to be in a different spot, but ours is here under one of these double bunks, and there's a panel that I can open in the back, lay myself out and reach down there, and I can flip the valves. So that's what I'm going to do now. There's 2 valves to shut off for the ingoing to the hot water and the outgoing, and then there's a 3rd valve which opens up the loop outside of the hot water tank, if that makes any sense. So once you have your valves done at your hot water tank, you can then get under your sink and get started on that side. I've got to get rid of this mouse trap here. We leave some mice traps in here through the winter. I got one on the floor here that I'm going to go ahead and trip. All right, got that. No mice. In the bathroom here, and the next thing you're going to want to do is find out where your water pump is for your water system. Our water pump ended up being below the kitchen sink. Had trailers before where it was under a dinette or under a bed. I've seen it in a lot of places. Ours right now is under this sink. Now, I'm a large man, as you can see from me being in this restroom. So it's very difficult for me to get to the water pump here below this sink. I've done a couple of things to help my job be a little easier. One, there's a shelf in here under the sink. For a year I would remove that shelf to get to the pump. It was a real pain. Now there was a toe kick under here, and I removed the toe kick strip, and it's not there at all anymore. We never put it back even because you can't see it where it goes. So having it removed really hasn't aesthetically done anything, but it gives me quick and easy access down to the water pump. The next thing I did was I hooked up one of those I guess winterizing valve kits. I forget what it was called, but it came with a little brass valve that I could direct the water flow either from the pump, either from my fresh water or into a canister of coolant. And so now all I have to do really is go in there, turn the valve, bring the hose out, put the hose in the jug of coolant, and turn my water pump on, and it'll pump it through. Now that I'm talking this through, I realize that I'm obviously going to have to plug up my low point caps before putting the coolant in. Otherwise, I'll just be pumping coolant all over the yard. So I guess I don't leave those caps in the sink, and I will go put those caps back on the low point drains now. Then I'll come back in here with my coolant. Okay, so I've got the caps back on the low point drain now. I've got all my faucets now shut once again so that when I start pumping, everything is closed. As to which direction, hey, thank you. I've got my son standing outside by the outdoor shower because I always get confused as to which way is on or off. I need to draw some arrows on there so I can do this without him. But he's standing out there to make sure that when I turn the pump on, I'm not just pumping coolant out the outdoor shower. So, and then the plan will be, once it's pumping and I'm getting up to pressure, I'm going to open one fixture at a time until I get coolant through that fixture. And I'll show you that. Hard to get you here in the bathroom with me. This is part of the kit I was talking about. So I've got this fitting. It goes on a little T-fitting under my water pump down here. And then all I do is I turn the valve. And then the other end of this sits in my jug and pumps coolant. So let me get it. Have to take the old cap off. Oh. Alright, now we've got it threaded and on. And my valve is already turned. So I'm going to take this jug of coolant, which I had about a third of a jug left over from last year. And I just take this hose and drop it into that coolant. Now, when I run my pump, I should see coolant come through that clear plastic. All right, Ethan, you're about ready?
Yeah.
All right, let's see. There goes the pump. There goes the coolant. Was there any outside?
No, sir.
Okay, then you're probably good, baby. You can go ahead. Usually a foil seal on these. And there is on this one. Not sure if this stuff has a shelf life, but I've got about 4 or 5 of them in the garage, and I just sort of keep them there. I try to rotate the oldest ones in so that I don't have them more than a couple of years. Not sure if that's okay to do or not. Alright, got the foil off of that one. I'm going to take my hose. Now, it goes pretty quick from here. Sit my hose down into my jug. I'm going to put my water pump on, and when I do, I'm going to turn my water lines on here at the sink until we, yeah, you can see that, until we start to see pink. Now, I didn't do this perfectly because I did see some cold water or clear water running out of my lines. I should have been extra careful that it was all out 100%. In this case though, I think we're actually using the camper in about 2 weeks for Christmas. So I'm not terribly concerned. Now if it were going to be sitting up for a 4 to 5 month winter, I'd make sure this was all done exactly correct. So let's put a pump on. Pink started flowing. Now the pump should shut itself off. It took about 10% of that jug, then it shut itself off. So I'm going to run. All right, we got pink that quick, so that was good. The hot line got some clear. That's not good. Here comes our pink. Okay, so now I've got the pink in that. Now I'm going to turn around and run it through my toilet, which I hear that the valves in these toilets are notorious for breaking in cold when they freeze. There we go, pink that quick. Not sure if you saw that, but this is what you're looking for. Let's see. There we go. Alright, now I'm going to run. You got to hit it in a few points here. You got to get it all the way through the top as well as the bottom. So there we go, pink, but I want to make sure I get pink up through the top, so I'm going to take this and run it until I got pink, and there we go. Now we got pink. Alright. Alright, so the bathroom is done. Still got half a jug left. Here at the kitchen sink, I'm going to run cold. We're getting some clear. See, I should have done a better job at that. There we go. There's our pink. And hot is got a little bit of clear. It's going to have to clear out that line. And there we come with our pink. Alright. Now I sort of did an impromptu filming of this. I wasn't really prepared to put this in a video, but I only do it once a year, so I figured I better get it in. If I was to do this over, I would have been very careful to make sure that all that clear water that you saw drain out of each fixture was run out and my gray tank was dumped prior to starting this process, and then I wouldn't have had to clear the lines like that. In fact, seeing how much clear water was still in the system, I guess I was really fortunate that I didn't have any damage occur on the few nights that we've already had that were freezing. I went outside and did the same thing to my outdoor shower, ran hot and cold on both until I got pink through both. And that's it. That's about all there is to it. In the spring, or whenever I use the trailer next, which in our case may be in a couple of weeks, all I'll do is I'll turn that valve back to where it's pulling from my fresh water again. I'll hook up fresh water and I'll run each fixture until all the pink is gone, and that'll be that. So that's winterizing. I'm not an RV technician, so I'm sure there are some holes in what I've done and some ways that it could be done better. But I wanted to just show you, I think probably 9 out of 10 Joes across the country that are winterizing their trailer are doing it pretty similar to how I just did it. Maybe it wasn't perfect. It's better than not doing it for certain. And hopefully if you take these few easy steps, you'll have a trailer in the spring that's ready to use without any troubles.